Hello, my name is Keshwani, K-E-S-H-W-A-N-I, Keshwani. In these clips that you see, that you're watching right now on the YouTube, and I've been solving the math problem from this book, the official SAT study guide. You must have this book, you must purchase it. If you don't have one, you can buy it from any of the bookstores or you can buy it from me. The problem that I'm about to solve is the problem that appears in exam number 4, section number 2, page 587, question number 20. Question number 20 is the last question in the section. It is an extremely difficult problem. It is not the problem that is meant for an average person. If you're scoring in 500 or 600 range, you have to be realistic. Don't spend your time trying to solve this problem. You'll be wise to spend your time on the problem where you have a better shot at. I'm going to solve this problem only for those people who are shooting for 700 and above. And therefore, I'm going to go a little bit fast. And hopefully you will follow it, and if you don't follow it, don't worry about it, just skip the problem. It will take too much time for you. Even if you were to get it right, it will take too much time. Even for the people who are in the 700 range, this is not for everybody. Okay, so here we go. Watch it only if you can brook it. Watch it only if you can brook it. If you don't know what the word brook means in this context, look it up in the dictionary and learn it. It means to tolerate, to be able to tolerate something, to be able to handle something. And if you cannot tolerate it, if you cannot handle it, if you cannot brook it, then don't worry about this problem. Here we go. I'm going to go at a little bit high speed. The instructions that are given to us are these. We are also told that both x and y have to be positive integers. You have to keep that in mind. They have to be positive integers. I won't write it down on the blackboard. I'm just going to assume that you will remember it. You will not lose track of it. The question simply is, which of the following could equal to 0? Well, let's look at the first statement. First statement is very simple. It's just a and b on either side. A and b. So I'm just going to follow my instructions. My instructions are, don't go around reading this thing as x, box, y. That's silly. You have to be able to read this thing. You have to learn how to read this thing. This is how it's read. If you've seen any of my past clips, you will know. What it says is that take whatever it is that you see on the left-hand side, whatever it is that you see on the left-hand side, multiply it by whatever it is that you see on the right-hand side. And from that, subtract what you see on the left-hand side. So I'm going to do that here. It's just I'm going to replace a and b, x and y by a and b, so I get a times b minus b. Question is, could this quantity be 0? That's the question. Well, let's see, find out. Let's take out b common from the both of the term. So can this be 0? The answer is yes. This quantity can be 0 under two scenarios. One scenario is that when b is 0, or when x is 1. Well, we are not allowed b to be 0 because we are told that they are positive integers. Let me see, where should I put them? They have to be positive integers. So it rules out this scenario, but it does not rule out this scenario. This one works. When a is 1, this quantity will be 0, regardless of what b is. Because you see, whatever b is, 1 times that quantity is just going to be b, and b times b is going to be 0. So the first one, it works. Now, a lot of people at this, in a problem like this, what I call a 1, 2, 3 problem, they have a tendency to solve all three statements together and look for the right combinations. I don't do that. These are called 1, 2, 3 problems. I always solve one statement at a time, and I find the right, cross out the impossible answers, and I keep on going until I find the right combination. Question is, which statement do you start with? Statement 1, 2, 3, which one? I start with whichever statement I find the easiest and simplest to work with. If it's statement number 3 that seems simple to me, I'll start with that one and look for the right combination, cross out the impossible answers, move on to the next two statements, so on and so forth. Here, I started with statement 1 only because it seems the simplest of the three. So statement 1 works. Let's keep track of our answers. Statement 1 works, which tells me that any answer choice that does not contain Roman numeral 1, I can simply cross it out. I can cross out B because it says 2 only. I can cross out C because it says 3 only. Answer has to be the remaining 3. If at this point in the exam, if you don't have the time to continue, if you only have a few seconds left, enough to grid in the answers, the odds are in your favor. Pick one answer choice randomly from the remaining 3 and just move on with your life. Don't agonize. Let's look at the second statement. The second statement says, let me use a different color. There's too much purple floating around. A plus B and B. Can this quantity be 0? Well, let's do the same thing. Take the quantity on the left hand side of the box, which is A plus B, multiplied by the quantity on the right hand side of the box, and then subtract from it the quantity that you see on the right hand side. Question is, can this be equal to 0? Well, the very first thing I'm going to do to figure out if this is possible, take out this B common from the two term. If you take out the B common, I end up with A plus B minus 1 equals 0. Again, the only time that this quantity is going to be, this product is going to be 0 is when B is equal to 0, which we are not allowed to have. B cannot be 0 because they have to be positive integers. So all the possibility is when this is 0. Well, let's see. A plus B minus 1, 0. Can it be 0? That's the question. Well, the only way this is going to be equal to 0 is when A plus B add up to 1. There are only two scenarios where two quantities will add up to 1, which is when they are fractions. This is 1/10, this is 9/10, this is 3/4, this is 1/4, this is half, this is half. We are not allowed that scenario either because they have to be integers. Other possibilities where these two will add up to 1 is when one is positive and one is negative. A positive 5 and a negative 4. We are not allowed either of these quantities, A or B, to be negative. They both have to be positive, which means the answer to this question, can this equal to 0? The answer is, can this equal to 0? The answer is a big fat no. I don't know why I said big fat. It doesn't have to be a big fat one. Let's see what we cross out now, which means the correct answer choice, whatever it is, cannot have 2 in it. Statement 2 does not work. Statement 2 does not work. I can cross out D, I suppose. D is gone. Let's look at the third statement now. Let's see what that says. I'll be right back. I have about a minute and a half to go because I like to keep these clips at around 10 minutes. The third statement says A and then A plus B. Oh, it's just the opposite of the other one. A and A plus B. The question is, can this be equal to 0? Can this quantity be 0? So let's find out. This is the question mark. So I take the left hand side, multiply it by the right hand side, and then subtract from it the right hand side. Question is, can this be 0? Well, I'm going to do the same thing again. I'm going to take out this quantity common. So if I take out A plus B common, I'm left with A minus 1. Can this be 0? Well, we already saw that this cannot be 0 because the only way the two quantities are going to add up to 0 is when one is positive and one is negative, opposite signs, which is not possible. They have to be positive. Well, I suppose that's the only way. So that's not possible because they both have to be positive. They both need to be positive. So this rules out. Can A be 1? Can A be 1 is the question. Can this quantity, can A equal 1? To which the answer simply would be pourquoi pas. Why not? There is no restriction on A other than the fact that it has to be positive, it has to be integer. This is possible. Which means the right combination is, statement number 3 works. The right combination is E. That's your answer. Alright? I hope it helped. Please send me comments on the YouTube and subscribe to the channel so that way you get the clips right away. Okay? Thank you.